Welcome to the real journey of the entrepreneur. The journey of any entrepreneur begins with a decision, then writing down your vision, then the execution of that vision. It is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who understand how powerful your mind is and that you can truly create the life that you deserve. It does require a unique formula that includes belief in yourself, a lot of consistency, connecting with an OG, a lot of tears, missing out on a few events and things, and taking a whole lot of risks that will allow you to see your vision and dream come to pass. This journey of the entrepreneur is from the perspective of a wonderful mother, a business owner, whose goal is to break generational barriers and normalize the process of wealth building and financial wellness through entrepreneurship, all while creating a social and give back along the way. I am sharing this journey with you and invite you to share this process with me. Let's do this together. It's my own, but you have to feel comfortable to own it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I will always support you.
Thank you.
Well, hello there, good people. We are back for another episode of The Real Journey of Entrepreneurship. My name is Anita. I am the host and producer and also the founder and CEO of 11375. We at 11375 inspire businesses to really think about how they're going to gain their full potential in their business. And we accomplish this through a number of ways through our coaching and training and facilitation services. We also happen to work in the space where we help businesses become certified, but we also provide deep strategy to help them become successful in that space, specifically in the professional services arena. But I want to tell you how excited I am because, as I've mentioned, if you've been following me on social media, I had an opportunity to participate in a business accelerator that was through the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. And I have to tell you that prior to me going in, I had a wish list, as you can say, for a business owner. I wanted to find like-minded business owners. We don't have to do the same thing, but we're in business and we are attempting to figure out how we can make impact and also grow our businesses through the work that we are doing. And I have to tell you that my cohort 40, I'm going to keep saying this, it is probably one of the best. XL was the largest up to that date. And I have to tell you that my wish list has been answered. I discovered that I am now a part of a tribe of thriving, growing business owners who are committed to making change in deep waves within this space, but also creating opportunities for others to be able to support us in our business goals and dreams. And I have to tell you that my next guest is no different. First of all, let's talk about the fact that I now know an architect. I didn't have anyone that I knew that was an architect. And also have worked on spaces and buildings that I was inside of. Let's talk about that. But not only that, just so happens to be a woman architect. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. You're going to meet Ritu, but I'm going to tell you that there's some things that is going to be shared that will help us to understand that what it means to be not only a woman in business, not only a mother in business, but also really understand this concept being an architect in a space that's predominantly dominated by men. So I'm going to put a pause on what I got to say, because when you meet Ritu, you're going to understand the importance of making space, creating impact, and just being a really amazing being. Come on, Ritu. Come on right now. Come on.
Oh. Anita, that was an introduction. Oh my God, you said it all. Thank you so much. Uh, Good to see everyone.
So we're done with the conversation since I said no, we're not. We're just getting started.
Yeah, let's do
So
it. Fantastic. Looking forward to it. But that was a great introduction. One of the best I have ever gotten.
thank you. But it's true. So I know that I do not do the guest justice by I do like a very high level intro. Ritu, please tell us who you are, what you do now, and how you're making impact through your agency.
Well, good question. Thank you. So, I'm Ritu Saheb. I'm the founder of architectural firm Saheb Architecture. We are based in Midtown Manhattan, and we focus on renovations primarily in the residential space, which is apartments, townhouses, apartment buildings, plus in the institutional space, which is very varied, like cultural, educational, medical, childcare, and so on. So that's on the business side. Shall I mention the things on the personal side?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm an immigrant, probably like a lot of listeners of this podcast. I arrived in this country by myself as a full grown adult of 25. I'm a mother, currently an empty nester, yes. And I'm a hobbyist, continuing the hobbies that we New Yorkers like to engage in. And I'm a business owner, as I've mentioned before. So that gives you a full picture of who I am.
Now, when you started your architecture firm, how long ago was that?
So, as we were informally discussing, the first version was when I was in fourth year architectural school. This is going to give away my age, in 1991, doing what I'm doing now at a smaller scale. I was a project manager in my own business, managing design and construction jobs for second homes and some warehouse facilities in Mumbai and out of Mumbai in India. This current version, it has been through many different versions in two different countries through the ups and downs of life. And this current version I established almost at the end of 2015. So it's about 8 years old.
Same age as my kid. How about that? Yay.
Oh, wow. I'll never forget that. Yes.
Now, for those who are not familiar about what as an architect, what does that mean? What do you do? And right, the comma and how does that connect to being in the construction space?
So, yes, we all are in built spaces, right? We use apartments, we use offices, we are out there in playgrounds. These are all built spaces. Someone had to think them up, someone had to design them on paper most of the time, and then someone came and constructed that. That's what we do. So most of the stuff, most of the raw land is gone. We mostly have built spaces. So we either demolish an existing building or a space like a playground and put something new on it, or we renovate something that exists. So that's what we do as an architect. To make it more concrete for you, I am currently helping a daycare owner. She has rented a retail space in Bronx, then she's renting another office space in Bronx. So first is retail as in a store, the second is an office. We are redesigning this space for it to be a daycare center. You know, the first space for about 25 children, the second space for about 75. So that's one of the jobs that we're doing. So we redesign spaces that exist or buildings that exist. We do additions. We work not only on the inside, we work on the inside and outside. There's, tons of applications. There's the design, and then there's the filing with the building department. There's getting construction done. So we participate in all of those phases, bringing a space together.
Wow. So that your work as an architect does it require you to know how to draw? Do you have to know math? Like what are the skill sets that you need to know in order to do what you do?
People ask me all the time, even though I am good at math, all you require is basic math. And yes, you do have to go to architectural school, which is where they teach you how to make what they currently call blueprints, right? They are not blue anymore, but they are building drawings. That's a training you will go through.
Mhm.
You do not have to be particularly good at drawing. You need not be good at sketching. You must have an interest. So you should have the spatial knowledge, the connection between a 2D plan and a 3D, or imagining a space which doesn't exist in your head. That's all part of the training. So first thing would be, I would say should have an interest. And construction, again, how a wall is put together. How does a plumbing pipe go behind the wall? Is this 10-story building going to be able to stand up? What structure do I need? That all comes from training. So that's why the training is pretty rigorous in this field. You can be a licensed architect, which takes at this time 13 years. Unfortunately, long time. It's like becoming a doctor, except you're not a doctor. Or if you're an licensed architect, which is, you can do most of the stuff. If you're some things you can do, or you'd hire a licensed architect for your business, that is architectural school, and then just your general practice in the real world. So that's probably like 5-6 years, I would say.
Hmm. So when you are when you entered into this space, what made you choose this field?
That's when I was 16, long time ago, in the 80s. Yes. So I've been myself, and you have to be yourself if you're going to be, someone in this male-dominated space. And architecture was something that interested me. I grew up in the city of Mumbai. Currently, it's a city of 20 million people. Back then, it wasn't. It was much smaller, but we had apartment buildings. And when I visited my parents' hometown, Delhi, which is a very different kind of city, it's mostly single family homes or multi-family homes, but one floor. It just completely amazed me. So I think I used to go to Delhi every summer, for 3 months for the summer vacations. Not 3 months, wasn't 3 months, 1.5 months. And I would constantly go through the difference between the high-rise buildings of Mumbai and the low-lying architecture of New Delhi in my head. And I think that's how I got interested in architecture. I had that talent for the spatial connection that I'm talking about. I had interest. I would make floor plans in my mind. And so when it was time for me to decide, which in India is pretty early on, which I decided at 16, because you have to make the choices accordingly in terms of academics, what you're going to do, I chose architecture. And sure enough, 30 plus years later, I'm absolutely happy and contented in this field. And hopefully that means I made the right choice.
So I want to, if I may, um, show some of your work via your website. Is that okay to share?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Okay. So there were a couple of buildings that you um, redesigned. And I'm like, and when you mentioned that, even the one that you presented in our cohort, it's like, I know that building, but you're not really thinking about what goes into specifically that work. So this is just a few of your projects that you have, and you can definitely check out the information, the designs, and the before and after on the website, which we're going to be sharing later. Did you have any favorite um, projects that you worked on? And what that looked like specifically for budget, being over, under. Was there any that you can describe?
Sure. So if you're live on the website and you click on institutional,
Okay.
you would see the building that I worked on, which is my favorite building because it's so complicated. It's one on the left, and that's the building you said you have been in.
Yep.
It is Union Temple, and the photo right below it is the auditorium, which we made possible.
Wow.
in Union Temple. And this is my favorite work. It's ongoing. We're not fully done with it yet. We were involved in every aspect, every square inch of the building, some literally for design and construction, and some for the other things that go on beside design and construction, as in changing certificate of occupancies, changing uses, or getting special permits. So these are the high level stuff which comes in before you start designing the space itself. This building is a historic building. It's on the National Register because of its unique history in the Jewish history of New York. Back in the 20s, I think it was built in 1925, the Jewish people were not permitted to use swimming pools anywhere in the city. So they came up with this community center with a full-size swimming pool, so they have their own space. Unfortunately, it's a very, whenever I talk about that, it makes me very sad, but I'm glad they were forward thinking and they made this possible. So this building consists of a synagogue. It has it's used as a community center. We have a banquet hall. It has a rehabilitation center. It has 2 preschools, and it has 3 floors of a gym with squash courts and treadmills and weights and so on. And we have worked on many, many different aspects of this building. We converted the synagogue on the ground floor into an auditorium where you could have music concerts for the community. Since the synagogue, their usage reduced dramatically. It is a Reformed Jewish synagogue, but the need for it has reduced dramatically. So to use the space which already existed, we helped them get temporary use permits, redesign the synagogue. We closed those beautiful windows. And then we have worked on the facade. We restored the facade. Unfortunately, New York City has old buildings, so even when the facade is restored, it's almost impossible to tell. But it is safe to use, and there's going to be no infiltration of water. The building is going to be as a whole. It's not going to deteriorate. We have worked on several use permits for many different floors. So these are some of the things we did. Why I particularly like this building is we are welcoming this important building, a very important building in the community, to its new use, which is, like I said, the concerts and other uses going on in the future. It was very challenging because we worked with very antiquated zoning laws. And zoning laws, unfortunately, in the city, they lag the use of a building. And you need someone to put it all together so that we can reuse the buildings that we already have, because we're not going to go and demolish this beautiful building, which is so well built. But in order to change the use from a use which is no longer current to something which is current, which is of use to the society. So that's what we did. So that is my favorite project, and I look forward to doing many, many more of the kind.
So I guess I'm curious, and this is just me. How did you learn or discover that this was an opportunity to work on this specific project, the one in Brooklyn that we just talked about?
Excellent question. So yeah, this was after I just about started my practice. I am notorious for taking on challenging work. It is a challenge. I want to make it happen. And when the management came to me, they said, hey, this is synagogue, it's a religious use, and we want to hold concerts. How do we do that? And I said, yeah, I know it's done in the city. We're going to make that happen for you. So that's how I started. They approached me through my business network, which I think we're going to be talking about a little bit later. They found me. They posed this question to me. It intrigued me, and that's how we started. We started with a little feasibility study way back probably in 2017. And then we worked on, started one little thing and we worked on many different things. So opportunities just knocked on my door, but it was because I prepped it with doing all the networking beforehand.
Which leads to networking, right? And the importance of that. Now, the first question I have is, as a woman architect, there's a difference when you network versus when your counterparts, male counterparts, network. What is your sweet spot in terms of like ensuring that you're not being perceived inappropriately in certain spaces as a woman, business owner, architect, and you're stepping into spaces that traditionally are for
Mhm.
males.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have some colorful experiences, uh, and I have changed the way I network because of them. So, number one, I definitely do not network anywhere where people don't bother to see my signature or my name and they get my name wrong. If they're not going to
Mm,
bother with my name, I'm not sure how much respect or how much we're going to get along well together. So
mm,
that I definitely try to avoid. It's a very Indian name, and most people get it right, and those are the people I want to network with. Another thing is one of the meetings networking group I'd gone to probably in 2018, and someone from the real estate industry, he absolutely refused to believe I was an architect. And it's not like there aren't women architects out there. There are plenty of them. And he just wouldn't believe it. I'm like, holy cow, do I need to really bring my license and show it to you? So I've come to expect a certain kind of people in certain groups, and I avoid those groups. But again, since COVID, and again, more so since the program we did together, the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program, become more efficient. And I have found that women networking groups, not that I limit myself to women networking groups, but women networking groups is where I get a lot of visibility, a lot of understanding. People see me. There's a lot of opportunities in business too. So the way I network, my women networking has definitely gone up by a lot. And I have reduced just general networking. I network with people where I know someone understands me and someone will know what I'm going through and what I'm all about. So yes, that does happen out there, unfortunately.
So I'm glad you mentioned the intentionality behind
Mhm.
who you want to work with. You want to work in spaces that you are seen and respected.
Mhm.
And I think that a couple of things came out of the program for me, is really understand your worth and your value in specific spaces. And it becomes important as you begin to build your business. Follow up question about how do you then leverage those new business relationships that you develop?
How do I leverage the business relationships that I've developed? So it happens naturally, but the development part is where I put in a lot of work.
Mhm.
And I definitely have a system, having networked for a very long time, and I have to network a little bit harder than my male counterparts in the business because people don't naturally accept I'm an architect. So there's a lot of follow up involved for sure. When I meet people, I don't rush out to follow up with everybody, but I pick and choose who I want to follow up with, the people that I feel I connect with, and people I can get along well with, people that I can help because it's a two-way relationship. If I help them, they can help me, which I'm big on the BNI, and that's their motto. It's givers gain. So you
Mhm.
can't ask what is in it for me. The first step is giving them something that they want. It's
Mhm.
natural. They win, I win. And that has helped me a lot. I invite a lot of people to my networking groups as well. And Anita, you're going to be invited as well. A few of our classmates have already attended my networking meetings. So that helps me grow the relationship. Then it just naturally blossoms. I do a lot of coffees, a lot of lunches. People ask me for help. People are always reaching out. They're like, hey, I thought about this. What do you think? Or can you introduce me to a real estate agent? Or look, I'm just doing painting. Is it possible for for you to introduce me to someone? So people reach out to me. I am sure I be sure to respond to them. I have my mailing list, of course. Everybody ends up on my email newsletter. This way they know that I'm there. Then I also do the old snail mail. So, and that one helps me stand out from the email newsletter because people open, I get very small select number that I get a lot of business from. They get my printed newsletter, they open it up. It's very different from my email newsletter. It's a very customized thing. And they remember me. And this newsletter, which used to go out to 40 people, now goes out to 25. They are not allowed to forget me. They remember when they need an architect. They're like, oh, Ritu, yes, I kind of saw her name last month, that printed newsletter. People don't throw that stuff in the trash. They read it, or they at least peruse it. And that's how I get it. So that's how I grow. It's just networking in my different networks, keeping up with people. Party, you are my little party. I always love that. I love business. I love people who are doing stuff. So that's how I keep up with people.
So you mentioned some really interesting marketing tools that are not of what I call the norm these days. And I like that you still use paper to mail, because people still read their mail at some point. At some
Yep.
point, they'll look at it. So I like that you shared that. Are there any other ways that you are? You mentioned a few, but are there any deeper ways that you engage your clients once you have secured them? And what does that relationship look like for them, for you?
I definitely do a lot of free consultation. So when people reach out to me, it's with an idea in mind. Hey, can I add, for example, real estate lawyers? That's a big group of my client. Not every query that comes from a real estate lawyer becomes a paid job for me, but I'm its resource. So offering resources is definitely helped me a lot. People are looking to help their clients, and they just have a small question which is not worthy of being paid a consultation fee yet.
Mhm.
That's one thing I do. Another thing I do is I actually do continuing education seminars for the realtors in this field. Some of them are already my clients, and many of them, I hope for them to become my future clients. So they're getting continuing education as licensed agents in the city. And I'm getting the word out about my business, and I'm getting to show my work. We do slides. I literally talk about the different projects and details that I'm working on. So we do this online. And I also did last year a couple of these seminars with Chase Bank in person. So we do that as well. I'm out and about networking in person a lot, and I attend a lot of women's events. But I think your specific question was it that before they become the clients, how do I convert them when they come
Yeah,
in?
like, so what does that really look like for you? Because it does take, a number of touch points, especially
Mhm.
I've learned, before you actually convert them into an actual paid client. Do you mentioned consultations, and you also mentioned that you do them without charging initially. I do something similar because I think it's important for them to know that if they really want to work with me, you may see all the fanfare on, websites, social media, but we may not be the right fit for one another. So I really like the fact that you are exploring opportunities to generate individuals coming to work with you.
Sure. So I have found I need about 10 touches.
Mm.
And I have found my cycle is pretty long because this is about design and construction. And typically, the construction we undertake could be 300,000 to 500,000 to a million. In Union Temple, it was around 2 million. So it's not just the professional fees, but it's a construction cost. So it
Mm.
takes about 12 months to close a client for me. And yes, so 12 months is a long lead cycle, lots long sales cycle. They come to me through my networking group. Someone or the other refers them to me. Then I have a system where they can schedule a call with me. And during the call, we get a bit of sense about their project. So I'll use Calendly, which links up with my phone calendar. They schedule a call, I talk to them. Then they go on my email newsletter. And when I talk to them, either it could be a free general consult at that point, or if there's something more to be done, I offer a very small consultation for a small amount to progress this, to move this client in the direction forward. For example, this morning I did a very small site visit to a townhouse in Greenpoint for $500. I'm not making money over there. It's just, the idea is I gave them the basic. They want to convert their two-family house either into a single-family house. So they're considering whether should we do a legal Airbnb rental, should we rent it out to a long-term tenant, what are the implications. So it was a very useful consultation for a small cost of $100. But now the ball is in their court for the big deal. If they want to go ahead with big redesign project, which may happen 6 months down the road or not at all. But so I offer them a small paid consultation to give them a sense of what we can do. Then they just see me on the newsletter, and people do come back to me and they say, hey, yeah, I spoke to you 6 months ago, and I think I'm finally ready to begin. I have a lot of educational videos on Vimeo, and these are 2-minute videos. So with our current attention span, they just give you all the information you want. They get a link to that. They can hear it whenever they want. So they're hearing my voice, they're seeing what I can do, talking about projects. So these are all the different things I do to advance a client from the step they first come on my radar. If they don't come on my radar, they find all these things naturally through my website or Googling for me and so on. So there's tons of things out there online which people see before they approach me.
It's so interesting, and I appreciate you breaking down, your personal business sales cycle, because a lot of times when you're doing, putting effort through marketing, through communicating on social media, email lists, in your instance, actually mailing out a newsletter, that sometimes an entrepreneur can get discouraged because it doesn't immediately happen for them. But you just shared that the conversion time may take 6 months or more, just to, and you have to do a number of touch bases. So how do you stay encouraged during those times when sales are not always just there? How do you stay encouraged?
I hear you, Anita. So it's by the virtue of the profession I chose. Most architects are planners, and the stuff I undertake, it takes 2 to 3 years to see the end product.
Right.
I have to be a long-term thinker, which I am, thank God for that. I
Mhm.
have to be not discouraged by little things, because from the time I speak to the client, Union Temple, I just said, I think we started in 2018, and we're not fully done yet.
Right.
I have already seen 5 years ahead, 6 years ahead, 7 years ahead. I know the different things that could happen or go wrong. It's the end point. It's the end result that I see, the part at the end of the rainbow, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's something I keep in mind, and that's why I'm able to do it. Because what is the option? If I did not do this, the result is zero sales. Because just because I want to close people right away, it doesn't happen. The people act in a certain way, and I've just become more empathic over the years. I can understand that. Like, I broke it down. It's not just hiring a professional, it's the cost of construction. And people are nervous when they want to renovate the biggest asset in their life. It could be their townhouse, it could be their apartment, it could be their business. People, they literally throw in all their income to set up the business. They're hiring me to make the space for the business, and that is their biggest investment. Or in many times, investors. I work with real estate investors, developers, redevelopers, and their name is on the line. It's the first time they're doing it, the second time they're doing it. This is their biggest investment ever. So I can see the nervousness from their side, the hesitation. And it is really, designing in New York City is a very difficult job, getting the construction done. In spite of, you're seeing so much going around you.
Right.
If I started telling you stories about what goes on behind the scenes, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. So I am more empathic to the client, and I'm like, yeah, it takes 1 year. Here I am. I'm going to make it happen for you. If that's what you want to do, 1 year down the road, I am there. You will see me everywhere. You will feel that comfort in me. We have house portfolio, HOUZZ. We have testimonials there. You can go out there, read testimonials. take your time, make your decision. So that is the best way I've found, by staying positive, and it has proven correct. Business is coming in.
Mhm.
That's how I make it happen.
Yeah, that's a great
No one said
way.
business was easy.
No, no, it's not. Um, I want to transition to you as a mentor. So you've done a number of, you served as the women's business for Goldman Sachs. And I know I'm probably saying it as a thought leader, an expert in that specific space. Now, for your mentorship, women, is it in general? What does that look like for those who want to sit and learn from your experience?
So pretty close. Yes, I was the teacher, the instructor in Goldman Sachs 1 million Black women program
Okay.
with Level Up and Brooklyn Public Library at the Central Library in Brooklyn,
Okay.
and they already had a program available for finance and computers for IT. Excuse me. It's the first time they had for real estate. So I was the first person who kicked it off for them. I had about 20 students. These are the women, Black women, looking to transition from their jobs, low paying jobs, unfortunately, to the industry of real estate. And they were looking at all kinds of jobs. They had no idea what existed. All they thought was you could be a real estate agent. And then I educated them. You can be an interior designer. You could be a home inspector. You could be working in a real estate developer's office. There's so many other jobs you could have. So that was a thing. And then I became a mentor there.
Hmm.
So I am big on mentoring. And I again come from the industry. Architects, you have to be a mentee yourself. You have to be mentored by a licensed architect in order to become licensed yourself. That goes back to the old medieval master and student relationship. The master craftsman teaches you the craft, teaches the student the craft. So in architectural industry, you have to work with a licensed architect at least for 3 years, and then you will be eligible to take your exams to become a licensed architect. So that is the mentoring that exists in this system. So it is understood, even though our mentors are creating their competitors, these licensed architects have me as a mentee, I'm going to be competing with them. That's the way the world is. It applies to architects, uh, engineers, to doctors, right? The doctors mentor the young incoming doctors. And I just want to pass on my knowledge. So I do mentor a lot of architects in training. They've finished their 5 years of college. They're working in offices, and I help them achieve licensure for themselves, which is a big process. I mentor a lot of women in the world of real estate. So this could be anything ranging from architecture to anything related adjacent in real estate. I find it a very, very rewarding experience. It's amazing. I'm helping these women, many case men, I have male mentees as well, be the best they can. I'm helping their dreams come true, just like I'm helping them with the businesses and the houses for the investors or the people that hire me as an architect. Their dreams through spaces come through. Yeah, I'm helping them through their profession, helping their dreams come through through their chosen profession. And the barrier to entry is pretty high in many of these fields. It's not very easy to get into.
Mhm.
I got in here because I wanted to get in, but of course, I did have mentors myself, and I'm just passing that on. And most of them, it's amazing to see how they rise up to the challenge and how they use this wealth of information and the encouragement I give them to, really make the best of it, to really fulfill their dreams in life. On the other hand, I myself still have a mentor. So I have a mentor from SCORE. Her name is Anne, and she's an engineer. She was an analyst with Chase Bank, and now she's retired, and she mentors full time. She's an amazing mentor. When I got stuck last year, I felt like I needed a mentor, and I reached out to her. And there are some other older women who have been through my age and my phase of business, and they have risen above it. They mentor me as well. So it's both ways. I love being mentored because these are the things I would have not thought of. They definitely help me troubleshoot issues. And on the other hand, I like seeing others rise up, and that's why I like mentoring them. It's a chain, it's a circle of life, and I'm glad that I get to experience it both ways.
So I like that you are not afraid to share that you one participate and receive mentoring. That's, because a lot of folks feel like they just made it and I've arrived and they've done all these phenomenal things, and I'm like, someone along the way helped you. Someone helped you, right, along the way. So you mentioned the circle of life in this, in the, as you begin to close your statement, about mentoring, being mentored. Um, if you did not have a mentor at, this stage or in the beginning, do you think that you would have accelerated your growth if you had a mentor early on? Or is it more beneficial now that you have a business established now?
No, I've literally had a mentor since 1990. So except for, a few years I was out of the architectural business, I've always had a mentor.
Mm.
So I don't see myself being anywhere with other mentors. In fact, last year I felt stuck because the rise in interest rate had affected my business, and I was almost on the verge of shutting down. And then I spoke to my husband, who's one of the board of advisors in my company, and he's an ex entrepreneur himself. He said, "You got to do something different." Sounds very easy, but I'm like, okay, maybe I should get a mentor out of the architectural industry. I should get a successful woman this time because most of my mentors have been male architects so far. And I said, okay, I'm going to change that. And yes, sure enough, and absolutely accelerated uh, the growth for me from last year. So I won't say it was just in the beginning or just now. I felt it gives me a chance to grow. I get caught in a rut, and the mentor helps me get out of there. So I actually did the Goldman Sachs program. I managed to get in or get selected thanks to Anne because of the advice she gave me. So that would have not happened. I don't see myself I probably would have been somewhere, but maybe half of where I am uh, if I did not have mentors. I find it really crucial. So I would definitely advise people to seek out mentors, not only from their field, but could be from other fields as well. Like Anna has absolutely nothing to do with architecture, but she has such a great business sense. She has helped me tremendously. And I have some women who are in the world of real estate, and they help me out. So in fact, at this time, I have no architect mentor that I have grown past, I find as of this time, but I have women from other fields who are helping me rise up, scale up in my business.
So this is great. As we are wrapping up, are there some tips that you could share, based upon your wealth of experience? If someone wants to transition into this space where you are, what are your tips?
Passion. If you don't have passion for the industry, unfortunately, at the first sign of trouble, you might back off. So you need passion. Architecture is a very, very difficult industry, more so for women. Men find it difficult too, but for women, it is twice as hard. Uh, it is really rewarding. I love participating in the built environment in New York City. I'm like, oh yeah, I help with that building. I help with that building. These people can then do that. I can walk around and physically see the space as opposed to someone who is in the world of stocks and bonds. They are doing the benefit, but maybe happening unseen elsewhere. I can see the results. First time when I did a bathroom way back in 96, I could not stop feeling proud of the tiny bathroom I did. So it's fantastic. I can go and see these space since I did that. So passion is what I would say. Passion, hard work. Just constantly keep stepping up, trying to do more and more every. Don't get comfortable if you want to grow. Uh, those are some of the tips I would give to a business owner.
Okay, awesome. I'm writing notes, but you speak up. I'm not typing fast enough. No. So, where can we find you online?
Yes, so please definitely visit my website, www.sahebarchitecture.com. I think it's the base over here of the screen. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. You're going to see what's going on. Email me. You can email me. I will put you in my newsletter. I'll talk to you. I'll invite you to my networking group. My email address is rsaheb at sahebarchitecture.com. Please mention you heard this podcast. You can find me if you Google me. As Anita mentioned, I have been interviewed a few times. There's a lot of videos I have out there. I have very colorful images. Nothing is personal. Everything out there is business. On Instagram, I have beautiful street art, Bushwick street art. You can see my travel photos. Uh, you can find me on Instagram. I have two different accounts. Just Google my name and connect with whichever. You can also connect with me on Facebook, though I've not been so active there lately. So, yeah, please find me in all these places.
And so, yes, I am so excited to have interviewed you today. I think that sitting in class didn't really do you justice, and getting to know you outside of our cohort, because I'm going to make this statement again, just in case you all didn't know. Um, Cohort 40 XL is going to be making deep waves. So stay tuned and pay attention to what it is that we're doing within our businesses. Like, share, and follow us on the social platforms. And again, just support women-owned businesses. It's nothing wrong with, being intentional about where you spend your money. So, Ritu, I am so excited to have you here. Thank you so much. Please check out Ritu on the social platforms, and don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Thank you so much, Ritu.
Thank you, Anita. This was a great experience and it's been wonderful. Yes, please look out for Cohort 40 XL. Here we come.
Here we come. All right, take good care. Oh, but wait, how did I say? I got a couple of quick
Yes, the
rapid.
rapid fire.
How
Yes.
did I forget? I got so engulfed in the other stuff. So, do you prefer shoes or sneakers?
Oh, shoes any day.
Pizza or burgers? Doesn't matter if it's vegan or not. What's your preference?
Burgers with real beef.
Smoothie or ice cream?
Neither, unfortunately.
How do you maintain your overall wellness?
Sleeping well, meditating when required, multivitamin for me, a lot of walking. It's 2 o'clock. I've already walked like 13,000 steps today. A lot of walking. New York City is built for walking. So, yeah.
In 3 years, where are you going to take your business?
You're going to see a lot of me out there on the billboards, on the names in front of the buildings, development. I'm going to have new development with me and some of my partners we're working on. So you're going to see those luxury housing thanks to Ritu Saheb Architects.
You heard it here first. In the cohort XL. Ritu, thank you so much. Sending you virtual kisses. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anita. That was fun.
So, okay, friends. Okay, friends. You cannot say that you did not understand or learn anything about what it means to be an architect, specifically in the construction space. I have to tell you that even as I looked at the website even more, I know the building. I was like, I know that building. I know that building. But to actually know the human that is behind such beautiful design, and it just makes it even more sweeter for me. I don't know if you get my excitement, but I want to tell you that it's really nice to be able to have a conversation with someone who has the experience and for me to learn about this space. So definitely check out sahebarchitecture.com. Ritu is on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Do not hesitate to like, share, and follow. But I also want to share a couple of gems. If you're interested in getting into this space, Ritu mentioned very specifically, you have to have passion, you have to do the work, and you have to have the ability to be open to have a mentor. A lot of times when we're in business, we think that sometimes we get started, we may not need someone, but as Ritu mentioned, she's had lifelong mentors to help her through the process. And I am so excited to have you just know that there are opportunities where you can find resources to help you to grow and develop your business. If you are within the 5 boroughs, there are number of chambers of commerce where you can, as Ritu mentioned, be intentional about your networking and relationship building. This is one space. We just happen to have a cohort where we are now relying on one another and exchanging, but the chambers of commerce, they are out there and can be supportive to your growth needs. I also want to share that they are in the 5 boroughs, they're in different states. You just have to tap in to be able to find resources. And some of them provide information where you can gather by attending in-person events. But I'm also going to share, if you're looking for some of our services, we're on the social platforms at 11375. We are here to help you to close some of that knowledge gap that you may need and experience within your space. So I am super excited to have you join us today. It was so good to really deeply unpack, what Ritu has going on in her space. So on that note, thank you for joining the real journey of the entrepreneurship. And guess what? We'll see you again soon. So long. This week, I'm thinking about the importance of focusing on yourself, focusing on your business if you have one, just focusing on purpose. One of the things that I'm learning is that having focus is a requirement. Being very strategic, aligning all of your things that you do with the goals that you have on your life. Focus isn't optional. It's actually imperative to your business growth. So stay the course and keep pressing. Focus, focus, focus. It will happen. Welcome to 11375. My name is Anita Pierce, and I am your Chief Experience Officer. At 11375, we offer strategic alignment solutions specific to you and your business goals, and also connecting everything with social impact. So if you are looking for a really amazing organization where we help you to focus your strategy and connecting it with social impact, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are on all the social platforms, and you can contact us at 11375.